Hi Virgo, sorry that your video's getting put up late. It got lost in translation. I had tried to record it, so you guys unfortunately are the last sign I'm doing for June's monthly reading. In any case, I've mixed the cards. I've laid out your spread. This is a zodiac spread, which gives you an idea of the general influences for the month. And my channel is True Tarot for today. My name is Sherry, and let's begin your reading. So, your first house is how the world sees you, Virgos, and this month they're going to be seeing you as very entrepreneurial, very confident. You possess, charm, you possess leadership skills, and you make things happen. So, for most of you Virgos, you'll be seen as an entrepreneurial, strong personality. If it's not you, some of you Virgo women may be being seen through a man that you're partnered up with, and then you'll be a little eclipsed so that their energy or their personality will stand out more to the public, but you will be associated with this man. And again, they may not be seeing you, they may be seeing you, through this man or partnered with this man. So you may want to assert yourself a little bit more. This is more for the Virgo women. Or you may not want to assert yourself more because this type of personality enjoys attention, they have ego, they're fun to be around. And so you may want to stay in the background and have this personality eclipse you. However, many of you male Virgos, this is an entrepreneurial side of your personality that will come out in the month of June, and you will be charming and you will be a leader for other people. They'll see you that way. Okay, in your money house, you have the I Spy card. This is the Page of Swords, and it means that somebody needs more information. And so you may be doing research on future investments, Bitcoin, different areas to put your money. Some of you may be using your money for the education of your children, because this card can also represent the student. So some of you may be planning financially for the college tuition for one of your children or more than one of your children. And others of you are just going to have a need to know. So you may be looking at the fine print or the fine details with your 401ks, with your investments, anything to do with your money. This is the card of research, finding things out, digging through things, gathering information. And so in the month of June, many of you Virgos are going to have a need to know or be curious about your money, your investments. You may be going over bank statements. You may be asking your accountant questions. This is just, again, a very inquisitive card. Okay, in your third house, this represents siblings, cousins, and neighbors. And you have someone leaving with regret. So you may have had someone come visit you and they've gone back to their country, their state, and they left with regret. But there was also some stress involved. This can be hearing from one of your cousins or your siblings that, someone left a relationship or left a location or a job because it was just, they want to go to calmer waters. And for others of you, this can be online, because neighborhoods are now online with the social media platforms, and Gemini rules communication. Some of you, there may have been a person that just closed their Facebook account or did not want to interact anymore on a social media platform, and they've kind of shut down, or you might feel they ghosted you. But usually this is a card of someone turning their back on a situation and moving away. So it doesn't have to directly affect you, but it would be someone in your environment that would have left or would be leaving. In your home, you have the highest card in the deck, Virgo. So this is a card of liberation, completion, and freedom. Many of you Virgos may have recently retired and you're getting a renaissance of enjoying your space and your time. This is the card of the world is your oyster. So if it's not retirement, many of you Virgos may be traveling in the month of June and your home is the world. This is a card where your consciousness is very open and it's a very global card. So some of you may be attracting communication or business from the global market. That's very possible. Some of you may be having visitors come in, international from other countries. Some of you may be traveling to these other countries. And if it isn't any of the above, this is just maybe, you're off for the summer, because many of you Virgos end up being teachers and instructors, and you're very good at that naturally. And so for many of you, you may just be having the summer off, and you feel a great sense of liberation and freedom. Your fifth house represents new relationships, which I consider ones romantically that have formed in the last 3 years, and your children. And you have the card of change and transformation. So we'll start with your children. This would be a card where they would be maturing, they would be transforming, their life would be shifting, they're growing. This is the card of creative evolution. So many people think the death card is a bad card, but it's not. It's a card of transformation. And so many of your children will be going through a very strong maturing process in June. And this could be because they graduated, or it's just events in their lives. If it's you in a new relationship, you want to change things up, whether you're going to transform the relationship with the person you're with, and this can be transformation and maturity and growth. For the other individual, you may be seeing someone younger than you, but they are going through a transformation and a growth and a maturing process. It could also be yourself, or you could just want to change up the type of person you're dating. If you're a single Virgo, if you're dating online, you may change the venue of where you're looking to meet a mate. You may change where you go out, where you socialize. This is a card where things are not going to stay the same. So either in your children's lives or in your new relationship, there will be some changes, and they'll be good. This is growth in the month of June. In your workplace, for those of you Virgos that are working, you have the competition card. And so your field is very competitive. You have to strut your stuff to stand out. This is the card of one-upmanship, where, it's an open competition. It's not, a negative one. But you're in a business where you have to really work hard, and there's a little bit of struggle to stand out against your competition. And so competition is generally good. It motivates people. The 5 is a change card, and so maybe you're wanting your money to be better, or you wanting to change, the playing field. But ultimately, in the month of June, you're going to be applying energy if you're working, and you're going to want to outdo your competition. In your partnership house, you have the adaptation card. This is called Temperance, and this is a very good card. So one of your partners is adapting and coordinating their mind and their personality to you. A partner can be a colleague, a child, a mate, a relative. You'll have to decide who is making this effort. And essentially, they want a well-balanced mind, and they want harmony in their relationships. They can sometimes get into exercise routines. They can get into diets. This is about self-improvement and self-care, as well as adapting and coordinating personality, schedule, lifestyle. with another individual so that there's harmony. So the intent or the intention of one of your partners is quite good. It means that they're putting in effort to make the relationship work. And because you also have in your new relationship house or your children house the maturity card, there may be an individual who's growing a lot in their relationship with you and making good adjustments in their life. They have good habits and good routines. They want to be healthy, which is why this card is nice to have in your partnership house. In your bedroom, the eighth house represents shared resources and your intimate life. You do have a love card showing up. And this is a beautiful card to have for your bedroom, Virgos, because it means that this person is not only your lover, but your friend, and that the attraction and the feelings are reciprocal. So, great card for many of you Virgos, even if you've had a long time partner. This is saying in June, you're going to have like a little second honeymoon. It's going to bring you a lot of happiness, and your intimate life should be very satisfying for the entire month. If it has anything to do with shared resources, this might be with a friend, rather than shared resources or a mate with any kind of corporation or company or insurance company or IRS. It could possibly have to do with alimony or child support. And this would be shared resources with someone who in your past was your partner. In your ninth house, this represents higher education, travel, publishing, and lawsuits. And so if you're traveling, there may be a property involved with this trip. You may be going to visit a property that you own in another country. Virgos tend to be good with the physical universe, and many of them end up with a second home or second property. For some of you, you may be consulting a lawyer regarding the sale or the buying of a piece of real estate, or you may be consulting a lawyer regarding a business and the contracts and how you would set that up and protect yourself. This is about generational wealth. So it can be real estate or it can be businesses that are passed down generationally. So travel, I would see it somehow connected with, real estate. And then if there's anything to do with higher education, many of you would be wanting to make a lot of money if you get a higher degree. Many of you might be going into banking, finance, real estate. Virgos are very good with math and numbers. Anything to do with the making of money and the maintaining of money. Could be a book on investments as well. And so in any area of publishing, travel, lawsuits, higher education, the focus would be on long-term wealth, either maintaining it, sustaining it, protecting it. This can also be writing up wills and trusts for children, legacy. So many of you may have something on the cooker in the month of June regarding one of those areas. In your career house, you have the Page of Pentacles. This is the student. As I said, many of you Virgos end up being instructors and teachers. You're very good at that naturally. You're very organized, you're very professional, you're very clear in your communication, in your expectations. So for many of you, this indicates that you work with children. And this can be in any area. It could be child psychology, it could be teacher, it could be, a home care or anything, children's apparel. Anything to do with children. Many of you Virgos are associated with that, or your profession somehow is associated either with the education or the well-being of children. If that isn't the case, then many of you Virgos, your career is fostering and nurturing and guiding one of your children to grow up with good habits, a good student, a good life direction. And so some of you Virgos, especially those that may be retired, and the female Virgos, this is really about rearing your own children and not, the general public in some field where you are working with children. So many of you Virgos may feel in June that your job is to look after, your child. In your friendship house, you have a nice card. This is the card Strength, and it means that one of your friends or several of your friends are very balanced people. They have a good mind, they have a good heart, they have a good spiritual base. This is the card also of self-control. So you Virgos, I don't think, like to hang out with too many wild people. I mean, it is kind of your shadow side because you guys tend to not be the wildest ones. The earth signs usually are a little more grounded than everyone else. But one of your friends is a good influence on you because they do have self-control, and they're a strong person. They have their heart, their mind, and their spirit aligned. And so this friendship should bring you strength and courage and vitality vicariously. Finally, in your 12th house, this is the house that's your blind spot, your self-undoing, sometimes your prison, and you have the card of boundaries and struggle. So many of you Virgos in the month of June may be thinking about kind of how stupid people are, that they don't get your signals, or you have to constantly repeat yourself over and over again about what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. You guys like your lives organized, you like your spaces organized, and anyone who comes in with too much chaos, excitement, they tend to screw up your rhythm and your life, your lifestyle. And so you don't like to hurt people, and yet you may get irritable or resentful sometimes, like I said, that you say something to people and it's in one ear and out the other. And you have to kind of constantly draw these boundaries or define your turf or your expectations because you guys have pretty high standards. So you may be thinking in the month of June about how, the communication with others or the energy gets irritable or frustrated, and are you communicating clearly enough to others about what works for you and what doesn't work, and why people keep repeating the same stupid patterns and irritating you? Or, you may have an issue where you don't understand other people's boundaries. And in the month of June, this is a lesson that you haven't mastered yet. You need to understand that other people are not, as organized and as perfectionistic as you guys tend to be. And it may be a struggle for someone that where they feel that you put them in a prison with your expectations and your desire for perfection, and they have to draw the boundaries over and over again with you because they can't comply to your standards. And so many of you Virgos will have to decide, because this is, like, in a way, still a struggle. Sometimes you may have to defend your position and you don't like that. And you may just have to learn to write out notes or put notes up or find a different way to communicate, whether you're the one that violates other people's boundaries or they violate yours, because it is something that holds you back and it's your blind spot. Okay, Virgo, so generally you have a really nice month. I love that you may be traveling or you feel great in your home this month. Your bedroom looks really nice. There may be some discussions about businesses or inheritances. Work for those working Virgos will be a little hectic and competitive, but there's a lot of good things in your friendship, in your partnership house, in your new relationship house. These are all major arcana cards, and you have quite a few in this reading. So I think June is a month where, some acts of fate or destiny may play out, and I think it's generally for your greater good. The cards look very good, Virgo. So I'm wishing you a productive and happy month. And if you like my videos, please feel free to like or share or subscribe. And I'll catch you back here next month. Take care.